home of the legendary 24 Hours of Le Mans. The Circuit de la Sarthe is hallowed ground in the world of motor racing. Along with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Circuit de la Sarthe is one of the oldest active racing facilities, having first hosted the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1923. Composed entirely of public roads near the French city of Le Mans, the Circuit de la Sarthe of the 1920s was 10.7 miles long. The triangular loop that ran into Le Mans itself was eliminated in 1932 by a bypass that reduced the track to 8.3 miles in length and formed the basis for the track's modern 8.4-mile configuration. Although the circuit still incorporates public roads, the track has been modified over the years in the interest of safety, never more so than when the pit straight was widened following the horrific accident in 1955 that claimed the lives of 83 people. Subsequently, a purpose-built section of high-speed curves and increasingly tight chicanes was created during the early 1970s to slow the cars as they approached the pit complex. In 1987, another chicane was added on the approach to the first turn, the Dunlop curve. 3 years later, a pair of medium-speed chicanes were added to what was once the 3.7-mile-long Mulsanne Straight. Evolutionary changes notwithstanding, the essential nature of Circuit de la Sarthe remains unchanged. It's a supreme test of race car and driver with long straights where low drag is paramount, the super-fast Porsche curves which place a premium on downforce, highly technical twisty chicanes and tight corners at the end of a high-speed section to test a car's brakes and the driver's ability to use them. In its glorious history, the circuit has witnessed countless epic battles among legendary drivers with names like Fangio, Moss, Hill, McLaren, Gurney, Foyt, Pescarolo, Ickx, Bell, McNish, and Christensen. The world's leading automakers, from the Bentleys of the 1920s to the streamlined Bugattis and Alfa Romeos of the 30s. Mercedes-Benz, Jaguar, Aston Martin, and Ferrari waged titanic battles at Le Mans before the epic Ford vs. Ferrari showdowns of the mid-60s and the Porsche vs. Ferrari classics of the 70s, featuring the fearsomely iconic Porsche 917s and Ferrari 512s. Tonight, it's round 3 of the PFR Sports Car Series, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Le Mans Circuit de la Sarthe, round 3 of the PFR Sports Car Championship. Qualifying already underway, so let's not delay any further. Let's get down trackside to see where all these drivers are starting to shake out. Get a 1-hour sprint race tonight around the 8.42-mile circuit. 65 degrees, 100% humidity. A little bit of fog here tonight. The clouds itself, well, technically clear, though the humidity up, it's kind of putting us in one big giant cloud. As of now, Terry Crouch the fastest in the session. Really just carrying over from practice. In fact, let's take a look at those practice times. Terry Crouch was the quickest. 3 minutes, 33.247 was the time for the number 59 TLDR SimSport entry. GT3 top time. Well, that went to Elliot Hallier, another TLDR SimSport driver. TLDR been awfully hard to guard here as of late. Andrew Locke back at it, the number 23 LMP2. While we have a moment, let's take a gander at our points standings coming into round number 3. We'll ixnay that for a moment. This is GT3 standings. Rob Campbell atop the board, 295. Then it's Kevin Burrows, Dave Seats, Brian Zinn, Mike Hamlin, your top 5. Then switching things up to LMP2, that's better. Flo Dom's the top of the board there, 293 points to Chris Generelli, 276. Terry Crouch, 247. That's really by and large due to Terry's issues back at Monza. Oleg Vorotnik is 4th, James Koulibaly 5th. Terry Crouch, your fastest, definitely ups his time from practice. 3-minute 31.653. What a lap out of Terry Crouch. He stays on the track. I'd be curious to see if anybody can best that time, including Terry Crouch, who put it up on the board. Teammate Flo Doms comes in second, 24 hundredths of a second off that top time. So maybe Flo's got something for Terry as well. Got Mango in the stream chat already, cheering on Lee. I believe that's for Lee Tucker. It's the only Lee we got in the field, I believe. And you can tell visibility could become an issue here this afternoon, or this evening for that matter. The time scheduling of this particular race. Practice started in darkness, effectively. Again, the humidity being very high, and what it is, fog on the racetrack. But let's ride on board with Terry Crouch, really see what it looks like from his perspective. It's not terrible. Terry down in the Bullsand corner. One of the most difficult, tricky corners here on the racetrack. Heavy braking after massive top speed. Then back to the power again. A couple of kinks through this straight. Classified as turn 16, turn 17. They're not much of a turn to speak of. But again, another high-speed section. Another kink here. That's technically 17. Then down into Indianapolis. That's going to be turn 18 and 19. Quick left here. And then another hard right at the end of this. That's Arnage. Terry definitely on the limit here. Through the Porsche curves, now into the Corvette curves. Now headed down into the Ford chicane. Way out to the right. Barely hits the brakes for that first left. Amazing speed through there. Let's see what kind of time Terry puts up here. Does he best that first quick time? 3:31.65. 3:31.29. He does go a bit faster, stays on top of the board. Now Flo Dom's back 6/10. Elliott Hellier, TLDR SimSport BMW. Fastest thus far, 3 minutes, 55 seconds around here at Le Mans. Wiggle through the Porsche curves there, maintains it going down the road, keeps it out of the barrier. We got Mango in the stream chat still. Only one saying hi. You guys feel free to chime in, cheer on your drivers. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. Anything you really want to mention, just keep it PG for the kids. .354.504 for Elliott. Bests his own time. Dave Seats also in a BMW this week. Personally ran into Dave Seats out at Watkins Glen International this past weekend for the 6 hours of the Glen. Just about 5 minutes officially left in the total time of the session. Rob Campbell in the Porsche. Campbell's best lap, 3 minutes, 56.862. Puts him P3 for now. I don't think anybody's going to touch that time that Elliott's put up, 3 minute 54.504. Dave Seats is usually pretty quick in these cars, a second and a half back. Just a few minutes left in the session. We're going to jump out and get a quick break out of the way. We'll be right back after this.
Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
look at our starting grid. On the pole position with a lap time of 3 minutes, 31 seconds, .292. It's the 59 TLDR SimSport LMP2 of Terry Crouch. Starting on the outside is Flo Doms, also of TLDR SimSport. Then it's Alex Carver in P3. Sean Roberts with Shenandoah Shine rolls for the 4th spot. Kevin Blue with Lone Star Racing. That 54 is going to start P5. Andy Locke from New York State will start 6th. Chris Generelli in the 11 rolls from the 7th starting spot with Aquila Racing. Chris Pio out of Florida rolls from P8. Starting 9th, Andy Spicer. 10th, Oleg Vorotniak. 11th, Ryan Flanagan. 12th, Gabriel Grozier. Leo Tucker starts 13th. 14th goes to Carlos Ramos. 15th, Chris Goins. Brandon Domain 16th. 17th, James Koulibaly. On the pole position in GT, it's Elliot Hellier with a lap time 23 seconds shy of those LMP2s. Unfortunately, it's not giving me the current lap time. Either way, he's got the pole position. Outside front row, it's going to be Dave Seats, then Rob Campbell. Kevin Burrows, 21st overall, 22nd, Daniel Clark, 23rd, Josh Heggie, Rob Henry, 24th, Dalton Powell, 25th, Travis Stevens, 26th. Again, this is overall starting positions. Mike Piazza, 27th. 28th goes to Nick Batista. 29th, Brian Zinn. 30th, Nick Matthews. Mike Hamlin, 31st. Bradley Wilson, 32nd. Calvin Levy, 33rd. Rene Garcia, 34th. And last but not least, with Right Turn Racing, it is the 021 of Jesse Redding. Your starting grid here from Le Mans, of course, a staggered start as we get ready to take the green flag here in just a moment. Flo Doms is actually going to lead them down. I believe Terry Crouch taking the EOL penalty. It's going to start out back. Looks like with James Koulibaly. Chris Goins making a comment to the stream chat. Visibility going to be an issue. Can't see much. Let's take a look at the in-car and Flo Doms. For now, it's not terrible. Again, very low ceiling. Don't think we're going to have any aerial coverage here tonight. Take a quick look and see if we can catch anything. Yeah, it's going to be pretty much non-existence from the aerial coverage. We'll see if some of this can burn off before we get this race concluded, but going to be terrestrial cameras from here on in. Field working the final chicane, the Ford chicane, before we get to the green flag. Barney getting ready to wave the green. We're underway from the Circuit de la Sarthe. LMP2's in through the Dunlop curve. GT3 getting the green as well. Elliot Hellier way out in front of David Seats. Very quickly, Alex Carver has gone to the point over Flo Doms. Andrew Locke having an early issue here. There's a car off the side of the racetrack. Driver's lucky to make it through. Carlos Ramos, looks like somebody might have hit him, not sure. Leo Tucker involved in an incident as well. That might be a GT machine. Carlos is just going to park it. He's got too much damage. Well, let's get a look at it. There was a few guys that had issues on the start already. First and foremost, let's look at Andrew Locke here. That's not Andrew Locke. Let's try again. Oh, looks like Andrew just goes around on his own. Cold Michelin's. Looks like he got through this without making contact with anyone. Let's see what happened with Leo Tucker. Oh, just trying to get off the track here. Everybody jumping up here, bunching up, trying to avoid Carlos Ramos. Let's see what happened with Carlos, what triggered this here. Saw Andrew Locke spinning behind there on his own. And it looks like the same happened with Carlos, except he gets the Armco. Everybody doing a great job. Oh, maybe I was going to say a great job to avoid the number 97. Carlos gets clipped there, parked in the middle of traffic as they're coming through on lap 1. Back out front, Alex Carver, your race leader. Not a wide margin at all over Flo Doms. Don't know who it was. Someone seemed to go way off course. Unless they were just taking that drastically of a different line. Elliott Hellier still maintaining the top spot in GT. About to complete lap number 1. Already 4 minutes in. That's about right. Lee Tucker in the pit lane. Elliott putting a pretty good gap on P2. David Seats. It's about 2.5 seconds after lap 1. Carver still with the race lead over now Sean Roberts. Flo Doms has slipped back to P3. I don't know if Flo had an issue out on the racetrack. I don't see anything to indicate that. Spotters around the racetrack not pointing out to anything specific. So Alex Carver maintains the top spot now over Sean Roberts. Roberts in front of Flo Doms in P3. Right on board with Flo right now. Flo's there, had the slipstream, taking a peek to the inside. Gets alongside Sean Roberts for that second spot. Roberts still defending. Flo Going to clear him and take the spot back. Move Doms up into P2. Again, getting very foggy here at Le Mans. Camera's trying to pick up as much as we can here. GT3 category, Elliott Hellier still with the race lead. A wide margin back to Dave Seats. Can't even see him back there. Maybe a little flicker of the headlights. 4.5 seconds the advantage for the BMW of Hellier. Now we're on board with David Seats. Visibility-wise, not horrible from inside the cockpit, but looking down that long straightaway, I got to imagine your visibility is certainly not what it would normally be on a very clear skies type of day. Word that Rene Garcia has had an issue out on the racetrack. Not too serious by any means as he is back in the running. Let's take a look at it and see what happened with the Mercedes. Chopper's able to fly low enough to work. Oh, just gets the little bit of oversteer, then a tank slap, gets it into the grass, into the paint. Very lucky to not make contact with the barriers. Grabs a gear and gets going. Dalton Powell now with an issue as well. Let's see what happened here with the other Mercedes out of Florida. This might just be a pit stop. Oh, drives it deep. Then just checks out. Dalton might be out of this one early. Ryan Flanagan with an off-track excursion. Let's see what happened with the LMP2. Oh, goes along sideways, puts it in the gravel. Quick to the throttle to get it turned around. They're definitely not off-road vehicles, folks. Got lucky with that one. Meanwhile, Flo Doms, we saw him up into that second spot. He took P2 away from Sean Roberts, but he has now gone back to P4. Lost a couple of spots. It's Carver, Roberts, Chris Generelli, Flo Doms, Oleg Vorotniak in the top 5. Andrew Locks are running in the 6th position. Oleg up in 5th, still being plagued by his connection issues. We've seen that happen after a couple of races already. Hopefully that does not present a problem for the other competitors on the track. Really Oleg as well. Oleg in the pits. Might be working some backward strategy here. We're only 11 minutes in. I'm going to assume this is just going to be a fuel stop here. Top it off. Oleg has shown some pace in this car, so this strategy, we'll have to see how it pans out for him. Taking on a good bit of fuel already, only 4 laps in, but that's about 35 miles or so. Whole leg down and away, no tires, fuel only for the number 4. Back in the fray. Meanwhile, Alex Carver still tearing it up here. 5.5 seconds the advantage. Back to Sean Roberts in P2. No pressure out the back for Roberts either. Flo Doms has gone back around Chris Generelli for the 3rd spot. His positions have been changing quite frequently here at the front of the field in LMP2. Look at the pass Flo Doms put on Chris Generelli moments ago. This is through the forward chicane. Gets a really good exit. Generelli goes left sides in the gravel just a bit, and Doms drives away. We'll see the pass here Sean Roberts put back on Flo Doms earlier. See, that was an intentional move. Doms got way out of the gas, or maybe this was a slowdown for Flo Doms. It very well could have been. He might have cut the track somewhere. iRacing will give you an opportunity to give that time back, but man, especially in this case where you're wide open throttled on the Mulsanne straight, you're giving up a ton of time. He might have been okay if he'd kept his foot in it and just kind of lifted a little bit more on entry to the chicane. Doms maintains the 3rd spot. It's Carver, Roberts, Doms, your top 3. Generelli back to 4th. Andrew Locke in P5. Checking on GT once again, Elliott Hellier comfortably in the lead here. 8.2 seconds over Dave Seats. But a big connection problem there for Hellier for just a moment. Got to hope that doesn't continue. Don't want to get booted from the session for packet loss problems as you're leading this race. Here, Ryan Flanagan may have had another issue. I don't think this is the same one. Let's take a look, see if it is. Down through Indianapolis, just goes a little wide. Chris Goins having a bit of an off track as well. This might not be as serious. Oh yeah, well, same situation. Just goes a little wide, gets it up on the curbs. High sides it a bit and sends himself through the gravel at the final corner. Meanwhile, Flo Doms now up into P2. He's taking back that 2nd spot from Sean Roberts. Take a look at that pass for position on the racetrack. Again, got the momentum down the straightaway, the Mulsanne straight, pulled the slipstream down to the first chicane. On the brakes a touch later than Roberts and goes to the inside. Roberts now back into P3. Doms up into that 2nd spot. We'll see if he can reel in race leader Alex Carver. Dom's getting into some GT3 traffic. It looks like this fog is actually getting worse. About 17 minutes in, it's getting harder and harder to see Let's jump in Sean Roberts. Let's see what it looks like from his perspective. It's not terrible, at least from here. Flo Dom is just ahead of him here. He's able to kind of use him as a guide. But even all the way down into Arnage, visibility not terrible from inside the cockpit. Treacherous through that Ford chicane, coming back onto the main straight. Roberts not giving up. He's certainly pushing hard here in the first third of this race, trying to maintain pace with Flo Doms. Flo is so fast, but he has also proven to be fast and aggressive, and that aggression, we've seen it happen at least once, maybe even twice here tonight, where that aggression and speed and pace has caught him off just a bit. Got the slowdown. I think it was coming down the Mulsanne straight to the first chicane. Lost a couple of positions. He was able to make them back, and he currently rides in that second spot. Seems to be gaining ground on Alex Carver. It's 3.8 seconds. The last lap for Doms was a 3-minute, 34-second lap. Carver ran a 3:37. That is a big difference, especially considering he's only 3.7 seconds back. Doms could be battling for the race lead here the next time by. With that, we're going to jump out and get an HBR TV side-by-side break out of the way so we don't miss that battle if it presents itself. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Circuit de la Sarthe, the battle for the lead about to get heated up here. Pit stops complete during the break. Carver gets out first. Flo Dom's there in behind, both drivers taking tires. The gap was 1.4 seconds as they left pit lane. It's down to 6.5 tenths as they work down into the second chicane down the Mulsanne Straight. GT traffic in the middle, that's going to be a big advantage for Carver as it's going to slow down Dom's just a bit, cost him 3/4 tenths there as they exit. Dom's back to the gas, possibly pulling some slipstream here off of Carver down the Mulsanne Straight. It's going to be heavy braking into turn 15. Doms is there, 8 tenths of a second now, made up a couple tenths there, coming down under braking. Now into Indianapolis. Quick left-hander under braking for the quick right-hander into braking into the left-hander, then a very hard brake, the right-hand Arnage. Then I guess you could call it a crooked straightaway. All the way down into the Porsche curves. Carver just clipping the curb through Porsche curves. Gap now 7 tenths. Flo is starting to chip away at the deficit. Again, folks, we're looking at a 1-hour sprint race here. We're 26 minutes in. Prior to the break, Flo is reeling Carver in at an alarming pace through the cycle of pit stops. Doms might have gotten a slowdown here. It's now down to 2 full seconds back. That's going to be his Achilles heel here tonight, it looks like. We've seen this happen at least once before this evening, possibly twice. This could have been the third. Sean Roberts back in P3 still, 6 seconds back from Alex Carver. Back to GT3, Elliott Hellier still with the race lead. Considerable distance back to P2 and Dave Seats. Seats 18.7 seconds in the rears. Seats took about 20 seconds longer overall in the pit lane. I'm not sure if there was a penalty there. Hellier was able to get in 39.5 seconds, the total pit lane time. 20.88 seconds was the stop. Josh Heggie back in P3 in the Ferrari. Right on board with Josh. Sean Roberts with an issue on the racetrack. He went from P3 back to 5th. Not sure the issue. Andrew Locke up into the 4th spot. Let's take a look and see what happened here with the 66 of Sean Roberts. It's under braking. Turn 15, just locks up the rears. It's lucky enough not to hit anything or get hit, but he loses a couple of spots to Chris Generelli and Andrew Locke. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us here, we're approaching the midway portion of this 1 hour sprint race from Le Mans, round number 3 of the PFR Sports Car Series. Alex Carver, your overall leader, 1.79 seconds over Flo Doms. Elliot Hellier has led since the drop of the green. He's got 20 seconds on P2. David Seats in GT3. And as you can see, visibility a bit of an issue here at the racetrack. Some fog rolling into the speedway. It is early morning here at Le Mans. It looks horrendous here from the camera position. As the cars get closer, it gets a little bit cleaner. And as we have seen a couple of times tonight, the in-car not too terrible for the driver. A little bit limited visibility downrange. Certainly could be worse. Dave Seats with Limitless Motorsports still running in P2. And Josh Heggie, P3 in the Ferrari. Rob Campbell out of Canada in the Porsche. Then yet another Porsche, it is Brian Zinn. Rob Henry in P6 in GT, running in the BMW as well. Kevin Burrows had some success this season, right now running in the 7th position in GT. His TLDR SimSport teammate, Elliot Hellier, running in the top spot. Meanwhile, out front, didn't take long. Flo Doms has taken the top spot from Alex Carver. Let's go back and get a look and see exactly how this pass materialized. Ooh, it looks like Carver had an issue. I don't know if that was a slowdown or otherwise. We're going to back it up a little further and see how this happened. Oh, tank slap. Got the rear end a little bit sideways. Oversteer on the brakes into the corner, into the chicane. Carver gives up the spot, trying to put the power down, stay ahead of Doms. Then he gets trapped behind the GT car. That's even worse. Flo Doms qualified the car on the outside front row, finds himself in the top spot now, past halfway by about 3 minutes. Again, plenty of racing still to go. He's got to be careful not to get any more slowdowns. That has kind of been his Achilles heel here tonight. Seems about every 10 laps he gets one. Meanwhile, Oleg Vorotnick back in the pit lane. Remember, we saw him stop very early for fuel. That was about 10 minutes in. We've gone about 20 laps, 20 minutes since then. Still connection issues plaguing Vorotnick. He's in the pits, though, going to take more fuel and tires in this case. Goes up on the jack. With this new rule, you're allowed to change tires during the fueling sequence. It's almost a free tire change depending on how much fuel you put in the race car. Connection issues plaguing him once again. Oleg down and away. Meanwhile, Andrew Locke has now jumped into P2. Let's see how he made this pass. This was a pass on Chris Gennarelli. Oh, Gennarelli went off the track. Get a better look at that, see what happened really here with Chris. Oh, just left sides on the curb, a little too hard on the brake. Doesn't hit anything, but man, that is going to hurt. It's going to take some serious track position from the 11. Talked about Terry Crouch much, but he has gone by Chris Gennarelli in the same incident, I believe. Yes, he has. Same for Kevin Blue, same for Sean Roberts, so move Terry Crouch up into the 5th spot. Remember, Terry had to go to the back at the start for his win penalty. But through that chaos, Flo Doms now has 12.3 seconds, 4, 5, 6 seconds on Andrew Locke as he's mired back behind a BMW GT machine. Out of Arnage, down into the Porsche curves here momentarily. Locke gets around the GT car. Make matters worse, I think Alex Carver has crashed out. We'll check this one more time here. Is this the same incident? I don't believe that it is. No, it is not. Oh, big impact. Gets into the tire barrier. Let's check it one more time here. This was... That may do it for Carver. So 37 minutes in, Flo Doms now with 10.9 seconds on Andrew Locke. It's extending out to 11 seconds plus. So Sean Robertson P3, Kevin Blue, Terry Crouch the top 5. GT category, Elliott Hellier from the pole, still out in front and extending that lead over Dave Seats, 25 seconds back. Then it's Josh Heggie, 30 seconds, Rob Campbell, 36, and then Brian Zinn, 49 seconds back in P5. Hellier just checking out, running at a blistering pace. Fastest lap of the day was the last lap for Hellier, a 3:52.97. Kevin Burrows running back in P7. Kevin's best lap, a 4:02. Correction, that was his last lap. Best lap at 3:57.86. Interestingly enough, some drivers not able to get below the 4-minute mark. Terry Crouch moving up into the 3rd spot. Oh, we got one car crashed. It's a GT Porsche into that chicane. He quickly exits. Toes to pit lane. Still some GT traffic. That might have been Mike Piazza. Right now it's Dom's Lock and Crouch, the top 3. Let's see what happened with Piazza. Oh, contact with the other BMW. They both get into the Armco down the straightaway. That was just going down the Mulsanne straight. Not giving an inch. Trying to get every bit of real estate out of that deal. It didn't work out for either driver. Looks like it was Nick Matthews. Matthews gets the opposite end of the Armco. Certainly damaged. Right front damage. Suspension broken on that machine. And then you saw the LMP2 drivers just trying to thread around that wounded BMW. That was scary. Back to live pictures. Flo Dom still the race leader. Terry Crouch is going to hit pit lane here. 40 minutes in. Should be the last stop of the evening for the 59 of Crouch. Came into pit lane at running 3rd overall. Remember, he had to go to the back of the LMP3 field for his win penalty. Ironic, I don't see that car going on jacks. Again, I'm sure he's either got it figured out that there wasn't enough of an advantage to take on the new Michelins versus can you change them during the fueling sequence? It's a 20.72 second stop for Terry Crouch as he exits pit lane. Ryan Flanagan also in the pits, stays on the ground, fuel only for the 3. So the question is, when does Flo Doms come down pit lane from the race lead? Again, he did take tires on that last stop. His pit stop was 23.23 versus Terry Crouch's non-tire stop to a 20.72. So we're looking about a 3-second differential in those pit times. Again, Doms is likely not going to change tires this time unless he truly needs enough fuel that he can benefit by changing those tires while he puts fuel in that machine. If not, keep the hot Michelins on and get back out there as he sparks trailing out the back of that number 13 LMP2. Lock now 12.07 seconds back from Flo Doms. Sean Roberts in P3, 24 back. Kevin Blue, 25 back and 4th. Chris Generelli, 26 back in that 5th spot. Now remember, Generelli went off the track a handful of minutes ago. Lost valuable track position. With that, though, we're going to jump out and take another HBR TV side-by-side break. But first, a word from Rich D, PC. We'll be back after this.
met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Circuit de la Sarthe here, round number 3 at Le Mans. Flo Dom still with your race lead, 12.8 seconds back to Andrew Locke. 12 minutes remain in the home stretch here from Le Mans. In GT, Elliott Hellier just running away with it, putting on a clinic, 37 seconds over Dave Seats. Dave has been so strong in previous seasons, but just cannot match the pace of that other BMW. Again, less than 12 minutes remain as Flo Doms approaches the main straight here, crosses the stripe, puts lap 13 on the board. Again, visibility not ideal here at Le Mans. We ride again on board with Flo Doms. It's okay from his perspective, it appears. In the cockpit, no traffic to worry about at the moment. Up through the S's. Turn 8, then 9, 10, Tetra Rouge. Wide open down the Mulsanne straight into the first chicane. And Flo's last lap, a 4-minute 12:31. Remember, he had a pit stop in there. Andrew Locke up into the second spot. A 4-minute 12:83 was his out lap after the pit stop. Terry Crouch, he made his stop prior to both of those two. Lap ahead of him. 3:35.40 was his best after that stop. Again, no tires taken for those drivers. Really see the gap that Flo has on Andrew Locke. Full 13 seconds, not even in the picture. Good run for Andrew, though. Started P6. Should be able to make it to the finish where he is at, and he does have a pretty healthy margin back to Terry Crouch. Andrew again running in P2. He's got about 17 seconds plus on the 59 of Crouch with just under 10 minutes remaining. Back to Sean Roberts in P4. Into 15. Again, off in the distance, you can see Terry Crouch, barely. Roberts to the inside of some slower GT traffic. Mercedes goes to the outside. Still has another one. That's Carver. Or is that Gennarelli? That is Gennarelli in P5. Kevin Blue in behind him. Going to pick up the slipstream off of Carver. Down into the Porsche curves. Unbelievable speed they carry through that final chicane. Seven and a half minutes to go here from Le Mans. Flo Doms, your overall race leader. Elliott Hellier in the top spot in GT3. 43 seconds over Dave Seat, just continues to increase that gap. Meanwhile, Oleg Vorotniak in the pits for the third time today. Now, I have to wonder if Oleg sustained some early race damage that may have triggered that 10 minutes in pit stop early on in the event, forcing a 3-stop race for Oleg. As he leaves the pit lane just now. Short stop, topping off the fuel, 9.55 seconds for the 4. Again, fog still an issue here at Le Mans. Not terribly, but wreaking a little bit of havoc with our cameras. Again, our cameras presented to you by Whiplash SimCams, custom cameras for all of your broadcasting needs. Find them on Facebook, Discord, Twitter. Andrew will hook you up. Oleg out of the pits again, down into the chicane on Mulsanne Straight, closing in on the BMW of Dave Seats in the second spot in GT. Going to make short work of him down the straightaway. Again, really no battles to speak of on the track here with about 5.5 minutes to go. Flo Doms, your race leader in LMP2. He's got 14 seconds on second place running Andrew Locke. Terry Crouch, another 31.5 seconds or so back from the race lead in third. Still a strong run from the 59 of Terry Crouch, as he did have to go to the rear of the LMP2 field at the race start. Had to work his way through. Terry's fast lap of the race so far, 3 minutes, 32 seconds, .971. Terry actually with the fastest lap of the day so far. Again, less than 5 minutes remain. He is purple for now. We'll see if Flo Doms can top the time. He's got a gap. He can afford to make a small mistake as long as he doesn't bin the thing into the gravel pit or the fence. Crouch making short work of another GT machine. That's Mike Piazza in the Porsche. Piazza running 11th in GT. Last car on the lead lap. Sean Roberts and Chris Generelli going at it. I think Generelli just took the spot away. Vice versa. Let's see what happened to Sean Roberts. Yeah, he got the run out of the chicane. I think Chris Generelli may have had an incident off-road just before. Yep, just slides it wide. I think this is through Indianapolis. Yes, it was. Generelli, another mistake costing him some positions on track, but here they are again trying to get through. Generelli goes up the middle between the GT car and Sean Roberts. What a move. Brazen move to take the spot back from Sean Roberts. Roberts is going to have the slipstream, though, right to the back bumper, or the, I guess you could call it a diffuser instead. We'll see what kind of move he makes. Down into the chicane. Looks to the inside, sparks flying. That thing is slammed on the ground. Sean Roberts with the run into the chicane takes the position back away. Generelli tucks back in behind. Now he's going to have the slipstream or just the better run out of the corner. They appear to be side by side between both chicanes on the Mulsanne Straight. Now this will be the left entry. 2.5 minutes to go. Great battle for position. This will be for the 5th position on the racetrack. Generelli takes it from Roberts' entry into this chicane. We'll see if now that Roberts has the slipstream, will he have the advantage down into the hard turn right, turn 15. Right on board with Roberts. Takes a look. Not enough to do it. It's a tough corner to get it done. Kevin Blue just up ahead. These two may catch him before it's all over. Less than 2 minutes to go. Flo Doms into the Porsche curves. Should see the white flag this time by. Should see it, probably will not see it, because for whatever reason, since iRacing did their update, Barney doesn't wave the flag on road courses anymore. See, Barney's got the white in hand. He just doesn't like to wave it. So I'm going to say that's probably our last lap here. Flo Doms One more circuit around Circuit de la Sarthe, and he'll have a victory in hand. Checking back in through here, Kevin Blue in P4. Sean Roberts starting to put some distance between himself and Chris Generelli. Seems that the setups between these two drivers vastly different. It seems that Roberts trimmed right out, slammed on the ground, a lot of speed on the straightaway. Not so much the case with Generelli, maybe a little more balance into his setup. As they work off the final chicane again, also last lap for these drivers. Meanwhile, we had an issue with Bradley Wilson on the track. He has crashed in GT. Oh, just too heavy on the brakes, doesn't hit anything. Oh, almost gets collected. And Sean Roberts just checking out. Kevin Blue going around the Porsche. Sean Roberts coming into the fray here. I think he's got a chance to catch Kevin before they get back to start-finish. Deficit between these two, only 0.8. Checking on Flo Doms again in the race lead, 13 seconds back. He can just kind of take his time. No need to push. Terry Crouch, though, still with the fastest lap of the day. Into the left chicane, Blue maintaining the fourth spot. Roberts, I'm sure, would love to move himself up one more position and collect some very valuable points. Roberts was a beast on the brakes getting into that turn 15, but Blue was able to get back to the throttle a little bit sooner. Meanwhile, out front still, Flo Doms on his final lap in through the Porsche curves, now into the Corvette curves. Throttle, brake down into the Ford chicane. Slow GT off the track. Final corner, main straight, checkered flag, Flo Doms wins it. Andrew Locke also off the final corner is going to finish P2. Terry Crouch again approaching the Ford chicane. A good run for the 59 to get up on the podium here, starting from the tail of this field. He'll take the third spot. Then to Elliott Hellier. Dominant performance here tonight. Hellier and GT still working through the Porsche, now Corvette curves on his final lap. Hellier across the stripe, he takes the checkered flag. Dave Seats again, way back. Unbelievable the gap that Hellier had put on Dave Seats, 54 plus seconds. He is just now entering the Porsche curves. Final left-right combination back to the main straight. Dave Seats going to finish in P3. That's going to wrap it up for our 1 hour sprint here from Le Mans. We're going to jump out and get a break out of the way. Be back with our winners after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Circuit de la Sarthe, round 3 at Le Mans in the books. Flo Doms, your race winner. Let's pull Flo into the broadcast booth and get a word with our race winner. Flo, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
Loud and clear.
All right, Flo, good to talk to you. Congratulations on an astonishing victory here tonight. Started outside front row with Terry having to go to the back. We saw you as low as P4. I got to ask, is it really just due to the slowdowns? I saw a couple of times that maybe you checked up considerably, let the guys go by, and then had to fight to take those positions back. What happened?
Yeah, I think I had like 3 slowdowns in the opening laps, and that caused that. And I had to fight back from then on.
So it still worked out for you in the end. You take top honors, and you were stretching that advantage over Andrew Locke. I think it was about 14 seconds when it all came down to the end. What was the strategy tonight? I know we've talked in the past about potentially getting a free tire stop with the fuel that you have to take on, depending on how much it is. What was the plan coming into tonight?
The plan was qualifying on the front row and then trying to pull a gap, which didn't work out that much. But yeah, in the end, I won the race. I'm happy about that. I'm usually really bad on low downforce trim in these cars. I really don't enjoy them. But there was this case at Monza as well, so 2 out of 2, I take that.
Great way to start the season. Again, only 3 races in. You've got a couple of wins under your belt. We're going to take next week off due to the holiday, but in 2 weeks we show up at Spa. Certainly a different type of racetrack, but old school in itself. How do you feel about your chances out at Spa in a couple of weeks?
I really enjoy Spa. I know Terry is very quick around there as well, but I'll try to do my best to get through the field again.
Certainly going to be interested in watching that. You're going to have to start towards the back. Terry likely going to be near the front as you were tonight. Hope to see you two battling it out for the finish next week. But we're going to let you go, man. Congratulations. Who do you want to shout out to before we do let you go?
Everybody watching, you guys, and everybody at TLDR.
All right, Flo. Well, again, good luck in a couple of weeks. We wish you the best, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.
Flo Dom's your race winner here at Le Mans. We're going to talk to Elliot Hellier. I hope I'm saying that right next. He is your race winner in GT. We'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. And once again, we've got a TLDR SimSport sweep in GT and LMP2. Elliot, it's Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a good copy?
Loud and clear.
All right, Elliot, congratulations. A dominating performance here at Le Mans tonight. I think you started on pole in GT, never looked back. What's the secret for you at this place? Is it just kind of fit your driving style? Are you just quick everywhere? We haven't really seen you much here this season, so coming in here first out of the box and winning this race, how do you do it?
I've done lots of laps here, quite a few 24 hours here, so I'm quite well accommodated to this track. But I think it's mainly, yeah, it does fit my driving style. Can be smooth but aggressive, you know, and the low downforce does kind of suit my driving style, suit my technique. So yeah, I guess it's a kind of amalgamation of all of those things, really.
We got Terry Crouch in our stream chat saying that Elliot is our top dog everywhere at TLDR. I'm sure he's just giving you a pat on the back, but you were certainly awfully fast here tonight. Couple of weeks, we're going to be back at Spa. How do you feel about your chances there? I know Terry's quick, granted he's an LMP2, but can you make it 2 weeks in a row?
I'm quietly confident. Again, I've done lots of laps of Spa, and it'll be on sort of just before the preparation for the Spa 24 hours. So I'm hoping that it will be a nice practice for that. So yeah, I'm quietly confident, but it's a lot of cars to get through, sort of starting at the back. So but we'll see how we go.
Keep the nose clean on that BMW. I'm sure you're going to be in the hunt for a podium there before that one is all said and done. Elliot, congratulations on the win here tonight. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Oh, it's got to be first and foremost all the boys at TLDR. Terry, my main man, my biggest hype man, the supporter, getting me in this league as well. A big shout out to my girlfriend as well for letting me race at 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, shout out to you guys as well, everyone watching, all the organisers, all that kind of stuff. Thank you very much for putting it on. I'm sure it'll be a very enjoyable season.
So the girlfriend's the real winner here, letting you run this thing at 3 a.m. That's pretty cool.
Oh, she's the real MVP. Yeah.
Elliot, thanks for talking to us, man. We wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks at Spa.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's Elliot Hellier, your race winner in GT. It was a fun one to watch. Good to see him in this one. Let's take a look at our race results with LMP2. Of course, we talked to Flo Doms initially. Your race winner. This is practice results. We want race results. Why does this always happen? That's better. Andrew Locke was P2. Terry Crouch was third. Sean Roberts fourth. Chris Generelli, a strong run tonight, but unfortunately, one issue on track cost him a couple of spots. He finishes fifth. Kevin Blue, a solid run, P6. Chris Pio, seventh. Ryan Flanagan was eighth. Ninth finisher went to Oleg Vorotniak. 10th was Andy Spicer. Chris Goins was 11th. James Koulibaly, 12th. Brandon Dilmane, 13th. Gabriel Crozier was 14th. Leo Tucker was 15th. Alex Carver, again, strong early, finishes 16th, 8 laps down. Carlos Ramos, 17th, 16 laps down after a lap 1 incident. Tough break for him. Let's take a look at GT finishing order here. Of course, we talked to Elliot Hellier. TLDR Simsport driver takes it 55 seconds over Dave Seats in second. Josh Heggie was third. Rob Campbell finishes in the 4th spot. 5th place finisher Brian Zinn. Kevin Burrows was 6th. 7th place was Rob Henry. Daniel Clark was 8th. Bradley Wilson 9th. Travis Stevens was 10th. And we're trying to get this. There we go. 11th was Mike Piazza. Nick Batista was 12th. 13th place finisher Nick Matthews. Rene Garcia 14th. 15th went to Dalton Powell. Jesse Redding finishes in the 16th spot. Mike Hamlin 17th. Last but not least, 15 laps down, Calvin Levy finishing out in the 18th position. That's your GT3 race results. And again, that's going to wrap it up for us here at Circuit de la Sarthe. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV. Thanking all of you guys for jumping in here in the stream chat tonight, watching the race itself. Please go ahead, help us out here on the YouTube side of things, youtube.com/@HBR TV, the number 1. Like it, follow it, share it, subscribe it, all the good stuff. If you don't want to do all of that, that's fine. Just hit the like button. It's free, it's easy, and it helps us immensely. Hit the like button on the stream each and every single week. We certainly do appreciate it. First and foremost, though, thank you for being here. You guys all have a happy 4th of July here in the States. Next week, we will be off. Come back in 2 weeks to watch round 4 from Spa. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.